accounting treatment for joint life policy. Now, what is joint life policy? We'll discuss. See, if a partner dies, if you prepare his capital account, you will find that partner's capital account is having the following balances: opening capital, share in reserves, share in goodwill, share in joint life policy, share in revaluation profits, share in profits up to date of death. Date of capital D means date of death. Okay. Share in profits up date of death drawings. Now, if you total the credit side and subtract the debit side, you will come to know how much is due to the partner who has died. If the legal heirs demand that they want money immediately, the firm has to write a check and they have to settle the account of the partner who has died. But when you prepare the partner's capital account, you come to know that the amount is huge. You have to pay crores of rupees to settle the account of the partner. If the firm does not have sufficient cash or bank balance, what will happen? The legal heirs say, no boss, we don't want to stay as a person who has given a loan. You cannot convert my amount as a loan. You have to settle the account. If they are not ready to keep the amount as a loan, and if you don't have sufficient money, the firm doesn't have sufficient money, what is the next alternative possible? Go for dissolution. The firm will be dissolved. Dissolved means all assets will be sold, cash will be collected. All assets will be sold, cash will be collected. Then we'll pay off outsiders' liabilities first. Creditors, bank overdraft, will pay off outsiders' liabilities. Now with that money, we can pay off whatever is due to the partner who has died, and remaining partners also have to take whatever is due to them. Business will be closed. Death of a partner has caused death of the firm. Death of a partner has caused death of the firm. If death of a partner should not be equal to death of the firm, you have to go for joint life policy. What is this joint life policy? We want to protect. We don't want death of the partner equal to death of the firm. You don't want that equation. You have to go for a joint life policy. Now, what is a joint life policy? Who will buy a joint life policy? Okay. Before we go into it, I'll discuss about an insurance policy which I have taken. Okay. Recently, I purchased an insurance policy for 10 lakh rupees. Insured value is 10 lakh. That means if something happens to me, if I die, my family will get 10 lakh rupees. Insurance company LIC will pay 10 lakh rupees to my family, to the nominees whom I have nominated in my insurance policy. Is it clear? That is called as the insured sum. Assured sum they call it as. Assured sum. That means in my mind I have an assurance that if I die today, insurance company is going to pay 10 lakhs to my family. Assured sum. But for the insurance company to take up that responsibility, I have to pay them some consideration in return. Insurance company says you have to pay yearly 60,000. Yearly how much you have to pay? 60,000. Yearly pay 60,000 rupees, and for the next 15 years, policy term is 15 years. Every year pay 60,000 rupees. If anything happens to you, we'll pay 10 lakhs to your family. So 60,000 rupees which I pay to the insurance company every year is called as the premium amount. What's it called as? Premium amount. Okay. Suppose I pay for 2 years. Third year I die. What will happen? Insurance company will pay 10 lakh rupees to my family. I have paid only 1 lakh 20,000, but insurance company will pay 10 lakhs to my family. Okay. Suppose nothing happens to me. I am here and healthy for the next 10 years. next 15 years till the policy term is over, I keep paying the money but nothing happens to me, then the insurance company may give me the amount back to me along with some interest. The policy term says you'll get 20 lakhs. They are going to give interest at the rate of 6% plus some bonuses, etc. They say if nothing happens to you, we'll give you the amount back at about 20 lakhs. So that is called as the maturity amount. What's it called as? Maturity amount. If risk happens, that is death happens, they'll pay assured sum. If death does not happen, you will get the maturity sum. Okay. Now, suppose I pay for 2 years. Then after that I am not able to pay 60,000 per annum. It has become difficult for me. Suppose. Now, after 2 years I want to tell the insurance company, sir, enough. I have paid you insurance premium for 2 years, but I don't have financial capability to pay you the third year insurance premium also. Please close my account. Will the insurance company give me back something? Will they give me my 1,20,000 back? They will give only 20,000 back. They will give only 20,000 back. There is a penalty. You have said that you will purchase a policy. When you took a policy, we have paid lot of commission to our agents all because they sold this policy to you. We have paid lot of commission, etc., etc. And you have promised to buy the policy for 15 years. Now after 2 years, you are saying, I don't want to buy the policy. I don't want to continue with the policy. Then insurance company out of 1,20,000, they will pay you only 20 and forfeit remaining 1 lakh. So this 20,000 will be called as surrender value. This is called as what? Surrender value. Suppose I pay for third year also, and after 3 years I go to insurance company and say, sir, I am not able to pay 60,000 every year. Please cancel my policy. Then insurance company may say, okay, take 50,000 back. Remaining you forget. Now surrender value has little increased. I pay for 5 years and then I say surrender. I don't want. Insurance company will reduce the penalty now because I have paid for 5 years now, boss. So they will not forfeit everything and then pay me very little amount. They may forfeit a small portion of the amount and remaining portion they may give me back. So the more amount of premium you pay, the more amount of surrender value you are going to get. Initially surrender value will be very less. LIC policies, if you surrender your policy within the first 2 years, no surrender value. ₹1 भी नहीं देते, भूल जाओ. First 2 years at any cost you cannot surrender because if you surrender, you will not get anything back. Later on, your surrender value will start increasing. Is it clear? Yes. So what is surrender value? The amount which we will get if you surrender the policy. That means you say, I don't want the policy, take the policy back, give me my money back. So amount which the insurance company is ready to pay you is called as surrender value. If risk happens, if death happens, the amount which the insurance company is going to pay you is called as insured value or assured sum. If nothing happens, you pay all the premium amount regularly, and at the end of the insurance premium period, you are going to get something back that is called as the assured sum. Not assured sum, sorry, maturity value. The amount which you pay regularly to the insurance company every year is called as what? Premium. Okay. Now, the firm, partnership firm, to protect the firm, what they may do is, they may purchase, the firm will buy an insurance policy in the names of the partners. Who will buy? The firm will buy. The firm will pay premium and purchase policy on the life of the partners. Why? Why will the firm do that? Because death of a partner sometimes can be equal to death of the firm. If a partner dies, to settle his capital account, the firm has to be sometimes closed. For that not to happen, what the firm does? They will buy one policy in the names of all partners or individual policies in the names of every partner, and premium is paid out of whose pocket? Not partner's pocket, firm's pocket. Suppose they buy a policy for Mr. A, partner, for 50 lakhs. Partner B 30 lakhs. Partner C 20 lakhs. Partner A 50 lakhs because he has more share in the firm. He has contributed more capital. So if his death happens, the firm will also die. To protect the firm from dying with the death of Mr. A, they have purchased a policy for 50 lakhs. For B 30 lakhs, for C 20 lakhs. Listen to me carefully. A dies. Who will get that 50 lakhs now? Firm or heir of A? No, nothing doing. Who got the policy? Firm. So who will get the money? Firm will get the money.
Sir, but they bought it in the name of A, no, sir?
Who bought it? Who paid money? Paisa कौन pay किया? Firm pay किया. So the money belongs to firm. So money will come into the firm. Now if B and C become greedy and they say, I want a share in this 50 lakhs also. A has died, 50 lakhs has come to the firm. I also want a share in this. What will happen? Firm will be closed. Why? That money should have been used for doing what? Repayment of capital balance of A to his legal heirs. If instead of using the money for that purpose, if they all start sharing the amount, then the firm will not be able to pay whatever is due to Mr. A and close his account. You would understand? Cash will be used for repayment of what is due to A. But the amount which has come is actually belonging to all A, B and C. Whatever money is received, it is an income for the firm, it is a gain for the firm. The money belongs to the firm. In the amount, actually A, B, C, all of them have a share. But cash will be used to pay whom? A. Why? Because if you don't use the money for paying off A's capital account, firm will be closed. Is it clear? Now, listen to me carefully. A has died. You have received 50 lakh. The firm has decided cash will be used to repay whatever is due to Mr. A. And we know that whatever amount has come, it belongs to the firm and it is a gain for the firm. I'll give you an example. Suppose the firm has paid 1 lakh rupees for the policy and in return they have got 50 lakhs now. They have paid only 1 lakh to insurance company, A has died, the firm has received 50 lakh. 49 lakhs is a gain for the firm, no boss. In that gain, A, B, C, all three of them have a share. So the gain has to be shared among A, B, C. Cash will be used to repay A. Now, legal heirs of A come to know that when A has died, firm has received 50 lakh, 49 lakh profit firm got, it is shared among A, B and C. They get angry. They come to firm and they say, B, in your name there is a policy. C, in your name there is a policy. Surrender the policy. Surrender those policies. And whatever amount comes, it is again a gain for the firm. I also have a share in that. You understand their logic? They are saying, when my father died, the firm got money and you are saying that you both have a share, no? So I'll also do one thing. Whatever policies are purchased in your name, surrender those policies. Whatever money comes to the firm. In that, the partner who has died will also have a share. Those policies have to be surrendered. Not actually surrendered, notionally surrendered. Notionally means, we will go to the insurance company and ask, sir, if I surrender the policy today, what amount are you ready to pay us? That will be shown as a gain in the books of accounts of the firm. Or else surrender the policy, receive money, later on purchase a new policy.
It can be a loss also, sir.
Sometimes it can be a loss also. Is it clear? So when a partner dies, on his policy the firm will receive assured sum. But on the remaining policies, the firm will receive surrender values. Those policies will be surrendered. Joint life policy doesn't mean that you are purchasing one policy in the names of all partners. Joint life policy means it is an insurance policy purchased to insure the lives of the partners out of joint money. Out of what money? Joint money means what? Firm's money. That is the meaning of joint life policy. Now how to do accounting for this? Sir, you are saying somebody has read, something has come, some gain, somebody has a share, somebody's policy has to be surrendered. How to do accounting for this? Write down. Joint life policy. फर्स्ट बेंच में बैठा है जोर जोर से चिल्ला रहा हूँ फिर भी नींद आ रहा उसको राइट डाउन एक्सपेंस मेथड फर्स्ट मेथड एक्सपेंस मेथड राइट डाउन under this method premium paid for the policy is treated as an expense. Is treated as an expense. Underline. How to do accounting? Write down. Entry number 1. When insurance premium is paid, entry will be joint life policy premium account debtor to bank account. Joint life policy premium account debtor to bank account. Logic of the entry: joint life policy premium is an expense. Expense, nominal account, expense and losses, debit. Bank, personal account, giver of the money, credit. This entry will be passed with the amount of annual premium. This entry will be passed with the amount of annual premium. Entry number 2. When joint life policy premium is debited to P&L appropriation account, when joint life policy premium is charged to P&L appropriation account, what is entry will pass? P&L appropriation account debtor to joint life policy premium. Nominal account is closed. P&L appropriation account debtor to joint life policy premium account. Now tell me, if you pass only these two entries, what will happen? If you pass only these two entries, joint life policy premium account will be debited and then it will be credited and closed. Nothing will appear in the balance sheet of the firm. Is it clear? Write down below that. Joint life policy premium account will not appear in the balance sheet. Joint life policy premium account will not appear in the balance sheet. Number 3. If a partner dies, and claim amount is received, if a partner dies and claim amount is received, what is entry will write? The firm is now receiving claim amount from the insurance company. Write down bank account debtor to joint life policy account. Bank account debtor to joint life policy account. Below that you will write entry will be passed with the claim amount. Entry will be passed with the claim amount which is equal to assured sum. Is it clear? Below that you write joint life policy is in the nature of a gain. Joint life policy account is in the nature of a gain. joint life policy account is in the nature of a gain. It's a gain account. Are you able to understand? Next. If policy is surrendered, if policy is surrendered, write down. What is the entry, right? When you surrender the policy and you receive surrender value from the insurance company, bank account, debtor to joint life policy account. Again, gain. When you pay, you treat it as an expense. When you receive, you treat it as a gain. Bank account, debtor to joint life policy account. It is in the nature of a gain. Next, when the gain is shared among the partners. Now if you see, last two entries, joint life policy account is credited with the gain amount, no boss. That gain has to be shared among all partners in their whole profit sharing ratio. Write down, when the gain is shared among all partners in their whole profit sharing ratio. And the gain amount is shared among all the partners in their old profit sharing ratio. Write down entry. Joint life policy account debtor to all partners capital account credit. All partners capital account credit. The amount should be credited to all partners capital account. In which ratios? Old profit sharing ratio, write down that. The gain amount should be shared among all the partners in their old profit sharing ratio. The gain amount should be shared among all the partners in their old profit sharing ratio. So did you understand this method? Now what about the bank amount which has been received? I am talking about the gain amount. What about the bank amount? When you receive claim, you say bank account or to JLP. When you receive surrender value, you are saying bank account or to JLP. Whatever balance is there in JLP account, that we have shared. What about the amount which has been received in the bank? That cash will be used to repay what? Capital balance of the partner who has died. But gain will be shared among all partners. Is it clear? When will the remaining partners get their share in that profit in cash? After they die. Or whenever the firm is dissolved, they'll get their money back. Is it clear? Right on, next. Second method. Asset method. Right now, under this method, premium paid to purchase the policy, is considered as cost incurred to buy an asset. Premium paid on the insurance policy is considered as cost incurred to buy an asset. So what we are doing, we are assuming that whatever we are paying as premium, it is not an expense. We are assuming that it is an expenditure incurred to buy an asset. So joint life policy will now be shown as an asset in the balance sheet. Okay, write down entries. So when you treat joint life policy as an asset, How do you record entries? Write down.
Sir, every year we pay premium and every year we record it, sir.
Yes, we assume that whatever you have spent is spent for purchasing an asset. Write down. When premium is paid, when premium is paid, you write the entry joint life policy account debtor to bank. Joint life policy account debtor to bank. Below that entry you will write the premium will be debited to joint life policy account which is treated as an asset. The premium that is paid will be debited to joint life policy account. Debited to joint life policy account which is treated as an asset. When you buy an asset, what is entry right? Asset account, debtor to bank account. Here we are not writing the word asset, but we are using the account joint life policy account. Is it clear? What is entry pass? Joint life policy account, debtor to bank account. Next. Write down. At the end of the year, if surrender value is less than book value, look at the board everyone. Suppose joint life policy, you have paid 10,000 rupees during the year, bank. Okay, you want to show it in the balance sheet now. Balance sheet, you want to show joint life policy as an asset. But when you go to the insurance company and ask them, the insurance company says surrender value is only 1,000. Even though you have paid 10,000 for the asset, if you surrender the policy today, you will get only 1,000. You have paid 10,000, but today the value of the asset is only 1,000. You cannot show 10,000 in your balance sheet. You have to show it at surrender value. And whenever surrender value is lower than cost, you have to show it below cost only. You have paid 10,000, but you know surrender value is only 1,000. You cannot show 10,000 in the balance sheet. If you show 10,000, somebody will feel, oh, they have an asset worth 10,000. But you know that on that date, the worth of the asset is only 1,000. So in such case, what you have to do? You have to reduce the balance in that account. Because we can show maximum 1,000 in the balance sheet. But we have shown 10,000 in the account. That is paid. So out of that, 9,000 has to be removed. It has to be debited to the P&L appropriation account. Write down. Write down entry. P&L appropriation account debtor. P&L appropriation account debtor to joint life policy account. P&L appropriation account debtor to joint life policy account. Please tell me, out of 10,000, how much should I send to P&L appropriation account? 9,000. I'll write by P&L appropriation account 9,000. Carried down 1,000 because this is the surrender value. I can show in the balance sheet 1,000. Is it clear? If book value on the date of balance sheet is more than surrender value, surrender value is less than book value. Book value has to be reduced by crediting asset account and debiting profit and loss appropriation account. Is it clear? This is the entry we have to pass. Next. Next. You write joint life policy will be shown in the balance sheet at surrender value. At surrender value. Joint life policy will be shown in the balance sheet at surrender value. Full stop. Next point. When a partner dies, partner dies and assured sum is received. When a partner dies and assured sum is received, what is it will write? Now what will you do? We'll say insurance company, come, please come here, take your policy, give us our assured sum. So we are surrendering the policy, we are giving away the policy, and we are taking what now? Not surrender value, we are taking the assured sum. Okay, so whatever amount comes should be credited to joint life policy account. Write down. Bank account retard to joint life policy account. With how much amount? Assured sum. You'll write there. This entry will be passed with assured sum. But please tell me, on this date, joint life policy account is showing what balance? Surrender value. But you are crediting the account now with assured sum. Surrender value is small value, assured sum is big value. The difference will be a profit for the firm, which will be shared among all partners in their old profit sharing ratio. Write down. Next. When policy is surrendered, when policy is surrendered, write the entry, bank account debtor to joint life policy account. Look at the board now, everyone. Suppose on a particular date, joint life policy account was showing debit balance 5,000. One of the partner dies, you receive 5 lakhs from insurance company. On a particular date, joint life policy account was showing a debit balance of 5,000. It's an asset, no? It will show some balance. Partner dies, you receive 5 lakhs. What should we write? Bank account debtor to joint life policy account. By bank, 5 lakh. Cost of the asset 5,000. Sale price of the asset 5 lakhs. 4 lakh 95,000 gain. And suppose one of the insurance policies also surrendered and you get another 2,000 rupees by bank. 2,000 rupees. Sale price of the policy 5 lakh 2,000. Cost price of the policy 5,000. 5 lakh 2,000 minus 5,000. 4 lakh 97,000 is a gain, which has to be shared among all partners in their old profit sharing ratio. Is it clear? Write down. When profit is shared among the partners, when profit is shared among the partners, underline. What will you write there? When profit is shared among the partners, underline. You will write. You write there. The balance in joint life policy account represents profit. The balance in joint life policy account represents profit. The balance in joint life policy account represents profit. It will be shared among all partners. It will be shared among all partners in their old profit sharing ratio. It will be shared among all partners in their old profit sharing ratio. Is it clear, everyone? This is how we are going to deal. What about the paisa, money? It will be used only for settlement of the capital account of the partner who has died. So there are two aspects here. The cash which is being collected and the gain. Gain belongs to all, but cash will be used to pay off the partner who has died. Is it clear? Next, third method. Third method, sinking fund method. Write down. Under this method, every year profits equal to premium are transferred to sinking fund, called as JLP fund. Remember provision for bad debts, similar here. We reduce the profits of the current year, profits are transferred to joint life policy fund. Okay, next continue. Cash equal to profits set aside. Cash equal to profits set aside. Cash equal to profit set aside is invested in joint life policy. Cash equal to profit set aside is invested in joint life policy. Asset. So what we are doing? Step 1, out of profits, set aside some funds, put it into joint life policy fund, and then invest some money in joint life policy asset. How much amount will you invest? Whatever you have set aside from the profit, same amount you will invest in an asset called as the joint life policy asset. Write down entries. Entry number 1. When profits are transferred to joint life policy fund, we'll pass an entry. P&L appropriation account at R2 JLP fund account. Profit and loss appropriation account at R2 JLP fund account. Joint life policy fund account. Not funda. It is profit and loss appropriation account at R2 JLP fund account. Okay. Next, what will you do immediately? Invest cash equal to this amount in what? Joint life policy asset. Right on. When cash is invested or when amount is invested in joint life policy asset, you will get more clarity about sinking fund when we come to a chapter called as depreciation. When cash is invested in joint life policy asset, write an entry. Joint life policy asset account at R2 bank account. With how much amount? With the premium amount. This entry should be passed with the premium amount. So first step, an amount equal to premium, transfer from profits to joint life policy fund. Next step, exactly invest the same amount in the joint life policy asset. Okay, next. Now because of this, what will happen is, you have two accounts now. Joint life policy fund account showing a credit balance, joint life policy asset account showing a debit balance. Continue. Joint life policy asset should be shown in the balance sheet at surrender value. joint life policy asset should be shown in the balance sheet at surrender value. Right now, if surrender value is less than book value, the balance has to be written off. The balance has to be written off. By charging to joint life policy fund account. By charging to joint life policy fund account. By charging to joint life policy fund account. Is it clear? So earlier what we were doing? Remember joint life policy asset method. Whatever difference was there between surrender value and book value, it was transferred to P&L appropriation account. Here the difference is not going to be transferred to P&L appropriation account, it will be transferred to joint life policy fund account. I can explain you. Look at the board everyone. Suppose in 2014 amount transferred to joint life policy fund is 10,000. Joint life policy fund by P&L appropriation, you have transferred 10,000 to the fund. Same amount you will invest also, no? Joint life policy asset to bank 10,000. But you know, when you are preparing the balance sheet of 2014, surrender value of this policy is not 10,000. Surrender value of the policy is only 1,000. So you have to show joint life policy asset only at 1,000, but book value is 10,000. Book value 10,000, can you write balance sheet 1,000? Just drop 1 0, no over. Can do that? No boss. Whatever balance is there in this account, that should go to balance sheet. But both are different, no? So I have to remove how much from this? 9,000 from this. How will you remove? It's a loss. Loss will be debited to joint life policy fund account. Write down the entry. Entry will be, how much I have to reduce now? 9,000 I have to reduce from this account. To reduce 9,000 from debit, what should I do? Credit the account. Which account should be debited? Joint life policy fund. Write down the entry. Joint life policy fund account debtor to joint life policy fund account debtor to joint life policy asset account. With how much amount? Difference between surrender value and book value, or the amount which has to be reduced. This entry should be passed with the difference between surrender value and book value. So in this problem, look at the board. How much I have to transfer? 9,000. So joint life policy account will be debited to joint life policy asset 9,000 by joint life policy fund 9,000. If I pass this entry, carry it down 1,000 surrender value. Here also what I will get? Carry it down 1,000, brought down 1,000. This will show brought down debit balance 1,000. So joint life policy asset 1,000, joint life policy fund 1,000. Okay, write down. Next point. Credit balance in joint life policy fund. Credit balance in joint life policy fund will be shown on the liability side, and joint life policy asset will be shown on the asset side. Joint life policy fund will be shown on the liability side, and joint life policy asset will be shown on the asset side. Is it clear? Next. Not over yet. Next. When a partner dies and assured sum is received. When a partner dies and assured sum is received. When a partner dies and assured sum is received. What is entry right? When a partner dies and assured sum is received. Bank account debtor to
Joint life policy.
joint life policy, asset account should be credited. We are now giving away the asset and we are getting money now. Bank account debtor to joint life policy, asset account. With how much amount? Assured sum. With assured sum. Bank account debtor to joint life policy, asset account. The entry should be passed with assured sum. Next. When policy is surrendered, you may have both eventualities. I told you in an example, A, B, C are partners. A dies. On A's policy will receive assured sum. But legal heirs of A will demand that B and C's policies have to be surrendered. Because whatever amount comes belongs to the firm in which they have a share. Right on. When policy is surrendered, what is it will write? Bank account debtor to joint life policy, asset account. Now look at the board, everyone. Suppose beginning of 2015, joint life policy fund 1000 credit balance. Joint life policy asset debit balance 1000. It was a balance. Partner dies. We receive 10 lakhs. What is entry we write? Bank account debtor to joint life policy asset. So asset account should be credited. You write here. By bank. How much? 10 lakhs. Two more policies were surrendered and we received 50,000 on that. Bank account debtor to joint life policy asset by bank. Now how will you close this account, boss? This is the book value of the asset, sale value of the asset, difference represents profit which should be transferred to joint life policy fund account. Write down. Write down. The balance in joint life policy asset account after death or after surrender. The balance in joint life policy asset account after death or after surrender represents profit. Represents profit which should be transferred to joint life policy fund. It shall be transferred to joint life policy fund. Entry. Entry. What is entry right? Joint life policy account. See here, credit side is more than debit side. I want to close the account. So this account should be debited, and this account should be credited. Right or entry? Joint life policy asset account debtor to joint life policy fund account. Joint life policy asset account debtor to joint life policy fund account. You write with the amount of profits. This entry should be passed with the amount of profits. This entry should be passed with the amount of profits. This entry should be passed with the amount of profits. I think there are sweets in Gautam sir's box. It has come for eating that. Right on. So what did you write? Joint life policy asset account debtor to joint life policy fund account. Okay. So now profits are transferred from this account to this account. How much? 10 lakh plus 50. 1050 minus 1000. How much? 10 lakh 49,000. Joint life policy account debtor to joint life policy fund account. So here we give a credit by joint life policy 10 lakh 49,000. Now 1000 plus 10 lakh 49,000. This is the total profit. It has to be now shared among all partners in their old profit sharing ratio. Right on. Right on. The credit balance in the joint life policy fund represents profit. It should be shared among all partners in their old profit sharing ratio. See, in earlier method, profits were shared directly from joint life policy account. Joint life policy account was debited, partners capital account was credited. Now we are not directly crediting partners capital account from joint life policy asset. We are transferring the profits to another account. What is joint life policy fund account. There we are transferring it to the partners. Read on the entry. Joint life policy fund account debtor to all partners capital account. Joint life policy fund account debtor to all partners capital account credit in old profit sharing ratio. Joint life policy fund account debtor to all partners capital account credit in what ratio? Old profit sharing ratio. Is it clear? Did you understand? Everyone? With this we complete accounting for joint life policy.